excited and delighted that Railroad Book Depot has allowed me to come into their bookstore to showcase my book. And I'm really, really excited because this is a vision that God has given me.
Amen.
And I just want to get the message out to the parents and to youth on what my mission is in life at this point in time. As you can see, the theme here is called Pearls of Wisdom, Arming Christian Girls with Tools for Real Life. So this book is a book that consists of tools on how to navigate through the system. This is what this book is about. And I wrote this book because of what all the different issues that young people go through in life. I do watch YouTube quite a bit just to keep current on what's going on in the world. And what I was really, really just hurt about is to see so many girls being murdered. You know, and a lot of times the reason why they're being murdered because they're not cognitive of their environment. They're not cognitive of why things are happening the way they are. So I want to open up a door to show them how they can understand and comprehend why the system is the way it is and why they're being traumatized, and not to take out their anger and frustration on their family, their friends, and even themselves. And this book is about arming yourself up and how to be a warrior, because you cannot make it in this world unless you know how to armor yourself. And it does, when I say armor, it doesn't mean on a natural point of can a weapon. Arming yourself is dealing with being spiritually connected to God.
That's right. That's right.
And this is what this book is about. Being armored means having the shield of faith. You cannot exist in this world unless you have faith. You must believe in God. You know, I meet people that says, well, wonderful, I'm not a Christian. You know, I believe this way or that way. I'm not here to put down nobody's religion. These are just some key principles. That's all it is. You know, and you can take it and, you know, and summarize it how you want to. And if you follow these key principles, you won't have to fall through the cracks. The system. When I say the system, people say, well, what do you mean? Are you talking about the elite? No, I'm talking about a whole gamut of things when I say the system. I'm going to just put it out there. Some people may not agree with me. When I say the system, I'm talking about the family environment. I'm talking about the church. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about peer pressure. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about trafficking, drugs and alcohol. I'm talking about that, the system. Right. See, we're fighting. We're fighting ourselves. We don't realize it. We're fighting ourselves because it's a mindset. Yes. It's all about the mind. And the enemy is working with our mind, as you can see in this day and time. It's all about what's going on up here. But once we get a clear picture of why the things are happening the way they are, then you'll know how to approach whatever problem you're going through in life. You know, when I say you approach, okay, for instance, you have a young girl at home and she's always complaining to mama, well, you know, how come I can't have this pair of shoes, mama? How come I can't have this dress? How come I can't go to the beauty shop? You know, I want to go to the concert. I want to go to the movies. And the mother, she doesn't understand, well, Susie over here got this and got that. But then she begins to take out her anger and frustration on her mother. But she doesn't understand it's not her mother, it's the system. And see, a lot of us don't understand that. What do you mean about the system? If I'm going back again. Well, how did things originate? I open up a whole lot of can of worms in here. How you know, where did we come from? A lot of our young people don't even know who Dr. Martin Luther King is in this day and time. I'm just telling you.
Right.
I know it for a fact. In a couple of years, they won't even know who President Obama is because of their minds. You know, we have been being deceived.
Yeah,
The devil has dummied us down to the point we don't even know how to even have faith. We don't even know how to believe in ourselves. We don't have no confidence. You know, we to the point now you don't even want to go to church. A lot of people don't.
But it's only
because they don't believe.
From where you're at.
So I'm sharing in here, telling the girls how about layers, the layers of life. When I say layers, I'm talking about when you go to school and you're dealing with the teacher that don't like you. That's the system. I'm talking to the young men. I talk with young men too. You know, I had a brother. You know, I got nephews, and I know what they go through. They are some of the most highly intelligent people in the world. But when they get to a certain age, their self-esteem has been so lowered they don't even know who they are. You know, and that's to come as parents. We have to be cognitive to that. Our boys are being affected just as much as our girls. We have more black females that's going to juvenile than any other culture. Isn't that something? Now, how do we capture them? Where are our wise mothers? I'm going to say that we in the last 50 years, we've had babies having babies. So now you see why it's so much chaos going on in the world. So I want to be a godmother to the young ladies. Let them know, you know, feel free to come talk to me. I'm out there. You know, I can get to your level. We can communicate. And I open up about a lot of things in here. You know, I even talk to young ladies about young men, how they talk to you. A lot of times it has to do about how you feel about yourself. It really does. It has young men will treat you according to how you see yourself. They will. Now, I'm saying it because I know. I've been there. I know it's wonderful living in a different time. No. It doesn't matter what time. I don't care if I'm almost 70 years old. Still to this day, if you have some respect for yourself, men will respect you. They will. You know, I went to my, I think it was my 25th class reunion, and this young man says, "Wonderful. You know, I wanted to talk to you in high school." I said, "You did?" You know, but I didn't know how to approach you because of the standard I had. And I hear that a lot now. I'm going on my 50th class reunion coming up this year. And I'm still hearing that, what if I didn't know how to approach you? Because I had principles. Our young people don't know what principles are. That's the tools of life. That's what it is. And I was thinking about a mother when she's getting ready, when a woman is getting ready to have birth. I never given birth to a child, but just doing some research. When a woman's getting ready to have birth, the baby is coming through the birth canal. Sometimes the mother's having some challenge in giving birth, and you know she may have to have a cesarean, or there's other procedures they take. And that's the way life is. I mean, you're already coming through to get to this world, going through turbulence. And when you get here, it's not a flower bed of ease. And so you still gonna go through. And that's what we have to learn how to push through our traumas in life. And a lot of our young girls don't know how to push through. You know, I know what it is to be stereotyped. That's the kind of, I talk about so many things in this book. I hit on a lot of things. I know what it is to be called retarded. I know what it feels like to be in special training all my life. I know what it is to be disabled. I have 5 pins in my hip. I had surgery at 9 years old, and I had surgery at 10 years old. Okay? So I know what it is to be resilient. Our young people need to learn how to be resilient, and that, you know, how to build character. And that's what this book is about. You know, how to build character, how to be a lady, how to be refined. That's what it's about. You know, I can stand here today and tell you that it took me 14 years to accomplish some of the things that I wanted to accomplish. I wanted an AA degree. The Lord blessed me to obtain that. The Lord blessed me to obtain my Bachelor of Art degree. The Lord blessed me to work for the state of California and retire. I have a nonprofit organization. Also, I have another little business on the side. So what I'm saying is, don't let nobody deter you from whatever you want in life. I don't care what community you come from. I don't care if you come from a single family home. It doesn't matter. Or what disabilities you have. It doesn't. You know, I've been called all kind of names. I've always been overweight, you know, so I've been teased about that. But I had a will, and that's what you got to have, a will. You got to have a will. You got to have a will in order to make it in this life. You got to be able to stand when somebody tell you you're not going to make it. I've been told to my face that when I was a child, because they didn't like my mother, that you're going to never make nothing of yourself. That's what I was told. Oh, that hurt me so bad. That hurt me so bad when somebody told me that I was never going to make nothing of myself. Sometimes I think about it like I am now. You know, and that's how come I worked even harder. I was so determined. But my mother, she was a faith-believing Christian woman. She took us to church 24/7. And my favorite scripture that I love to just think about is Matthew 7:7. I kept it in my heart because I heard it at church. Ask and it shall be given. And I was asking God every day, whatever you want in this life, you gotta just apply yourself, no matter what, whatever it takes. When I say apply, let me give you an example of what apply means. Because I did have some learning challenges. I would have textbooks thicker than this. You know what I would do? I would rewrite it. That's how I learned. I sit there in order for me to retain. This is what you call being consistent, applying, not thinking I can't do it, but you gotta have a mindset. Yes, I can do it. So I sit there and I write. I rewrite everything. That's how I was learning. And as I was writing, I was retaining. That's how I was doing it. And see, young people don't know that. A lot of young people don't know. When you say apply, you know, what do you mean by apply? You know, well, whatever your challenge is, you know, find innovative ways in how you can learn. Then another way I learned, I sometime when I wanted to learn a certain word or people's names, okay, so say for instance, somebody was named Pickaninny. Okay, so what I would do, I think about the color pink. Okay, I'm just giving an example. That's how I was learning. So if their name was Flower, you know, I look at them, you know, so I was just associating words with people's names. That's how I was learning. So that's how creative you have to be. Then another thing, when people say you can't make it, I would look at this piano. I'm just saying, we had a piano in the church. I'm just giving examples. And I sit there and look at it. Oh, I would love to learn how to play a piano. I didn't have no teacher. I just went there and sat there. And I kept thinking about that scripture. Ask. So I went and sat there and I just started pecking. And all of a sudden, God told me, put your fingers here, put your fingers here, put your fingers there. And then the Lord started blessing me to play the piano. So that's what you have to do. Then I looked over when I was in church, I looked at the drums. Oh, I think, you know, I'm going to go try these drums. Okay. But here's the key here. I started playing those drums. But as I was playing those drums and playing the piano, God was teaching me also how to apply life. He was giving me insight on how to do my homework. See, when you start playing, okay, you start harmonizing, and then you start singing, and you tune in, and you start getting your melodies together, and that's how life is. Everything just comes together as a puzzle. That's what started happening, you know. That's how come as mother, you have to start molding your babies from their, you know, even before they get here. You know, and as they're growing, you're still molding them. So and then I would go to the library. I go, you know, and I go and I sit there and I observe. I lived in the library, and I just go around and look at books and look at the pictures, and that's how I was learning, comprehending, observing. You know, another thing I tell young ladies that one lady aside of my mother and my aunt, there's one lady that I truly admired, and that was Coretta Scott King. As a child, you know, when I would watch television, and it was something about her demeanor, cause she just was just ladylike in the way she carried herself and the way she held her head. Oh, she just seemed so proud, you know, and she just had that conviction. And I said, oh, I like that about her. And the Lord blessed me to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to Ebenezer Baptist Church, and I got a chance to see her. Oh, I was so happy. So sometimes you have to be able to pick out somebody that you can look up to. You know, I look at my mother because I looked at my mother. I saw her as a caring, loving person, passionate. Then I picked out someone else, and I liked Coretta, the sophistication, the refinedness. So I was just picking out different people that I wanted to, you know, emulate, you know, and that has helped me to grow into the woman that I am today. You know what I'm saying? So this book here, I want to share something here. Another reason why I know you all, some of you all may know this person, the civil rights leader Malcolm X. 1962. This is another reason why I wrote this book. And this is what I see has been going on since the beginning of time. Since the most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And I was doing some research. I said, oh my God, okay, we're more and more of us are going to prison. I says, my Lord, we're just going about 1,000. Thousands of black females are disappearing. We don't know where they at. You know what I'm saying? They're disappearing for some odd reason. When I was looking at car crashes. Blacks die outside of Asian blacks are the second that are dying in car crashes. Health insurance, health care is an issue with us. I mean, when it comes to pollutants and air, you know, everything that we're dealing with. I was watching something on YouTube, and the mothers were talking about. I think they were talking about how they have to live in houses where their house is filled with feces because the landlord is not taking the time to repair their apartments. You know, the feces dropping from the ceilings. I said, this is what we're dealing with. You know, and this has been going on for years. And I said, my Lord, we're being hit from all areas. This is what I call the system. And so this is the reason why, another reason why I wrote the book. Because that we need to know how to advocate for ourselves. That is so important. Another reason why I wrote it, because you got to know how to go out and get resources. You can't just sit back and wait for somebody to hold your hand. You got to take the initiative. Learn how to take the initiative. I thank God that people did come by and give me some wisdom. And after a period of time, people, they hold your hand for a while, then they let it go. You know? And then you gotta get up and run for it and go for it. You know, for years people were holding my hands because it was taking a while for me to comprehend. Some people learn slower than others. You know, some learn fast. And so it took me a while to get it. So this book here has been truly a blessing to me. It's opened up my eyesight. It has helped me become more independent. Now, I had some questions, and I'd like for Octavia to come and ask me a couple of questions, and I want to open it up to the audience. Do you have any questions?